Okay, so I just wanted to make a real brief video. A couple people asked me about Tier 5 best in slot for Ret Paladin, so I figured I'd just make a really quick video going through all the best items for Ret Paladin in Tier 5, and also give you some of the secondary options that you can use in case you don't get the very best items. There's a lot of like really good secondary items, so let's get started. So this is the whole set. Just to give you a brief look what it looks like. Kind of a clown suit, if you ask me. None of the stuff really matches, but it is what it is. You know, for the most part, this is the items that you're gonna use. There's a little bit of room for flexibility in a couple pieces, possibly, like your weapon. So, but for the most part, you know, it's what you're gonna use. So first of all, we start with the helm. Engineering, Furious Gizmatic Goggles. Way better than anything else in the game at the time. Much better than the Tier 5 helmet. This actually will be really useful all the way into Black Temple. All the way until you get to Illidan and get Cursed Vision of Sargeras. So if you're not engineering, I highly recommend you go engineering and pick these up because they're very good. And also great in arena because they do increase your stealth detection. So they also give you like this cool farsight thing, and they also allow you to see gas clouds that you can use your mote extractor for. So they'll pop up on your mini map and you can go suck motes. So that's your helm, and here's your neck, pendant of the perilous. It's a trash drop from SSC. So it shouldn't be too hard to get, and there's really just nothing better. It's much better than Mithril Chain of Heroism from Karazhan. So, and it's also better than the hit neck from Badge of Justice, because you're not going to need the hit in your neck slot. So, as for shoulders, you're going to want shoulder pads of the Stranger. These are really good. As you can see, they do have 10 expertise on them. It's going to pair very well with your gloves of the Searing Grip and possibly your Shatrith leggings. So definitely recommend these, and definitely put these at the very top of your loot list, up there in the top 3 or so, because these are very high demand items and all the melee classes are going to want these. So you definitely want to get your hands on these as soon as you can, since expertise is like our best stat. Now, as for an honorable mention, these shoulders are also from Hydros the Unstable, first boss in Serpent Shrine Cavern, of course. These are like your next best shoulders. These are from the same boss, of course, and they have some good strength and crit. So if you don't ever get shoulder pads of the Stranger, which is really unfortunate, you can go with these for the time being. As for your cape, you're going to use the Razor Scale Battle Cloak. This is from Tidewalker in SSC. Depending on what order you do him in, he's like the 3rd or 4th boss. This is pretty close to other cloaks in the game. It's not a huge upgrade over other cloaks like Vengeance Wrap, which is my honorable mention, because this is still very good and not much worse than the Razor Scale Battle Cloak. So if you do have a Vengeance Wrap, I would not worry too much about getting the other cape. I would put it low priority just because it's a very modest upgrade and it's not something you really want to be spending like your DKP on if you use a DKP system. As for your chest, you're going to use Crystal Forge Breastplate. The only other chest in Tier 5 is like a plate chest that drops off Lady Vash, and this is just much better than that. It's got less hit rating, but this is where you're going to get most of your hit rating for your set, for your 3% hit rating set. It's got 3 great sockets in it, so I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. As for your wrists, these, you know, are from Phase 1. These are from High King Malgar. Everybody knows about these. Just your simple strength and crit bracers and a good blue socket for your meta gem. So, as for your gloves, you're going to use gloves of the Searing Grip. These drop off of Alar, the giant like fire phoenix in Tempest Keep, first boss. They are basically the direct upgrade to Grips of Deafness from Karazhan Trash. They have a little bit more expertise, a little bit more attack power, a little bit more agility. They're just a little bit of an upgrade in every stat over the Grips of Deafness. So, and if you haven't gotten those Karazhan gloves yet, I would definitely recommend putting these at the top of your loot list because they are, once again, very good. All the expertise items in the game are high demand and are very, very good for Ret Paladins because, like I said earlier, expertise is our best stat. So, as for your belt, this is like probably the most high demand item in tier 5. All the melee want this item. Every single melee wants this item. It's going to last you pretty much all game. The only time you're going to replace this belt is in Sunwell with your tier 6 belt, just because like tier 6 belt is insane and also has expertise on it. It's so hard to get expertise in WoW, and this is like, it's got a ton, right? 25 expertise is a ton. So this is going to also pair very nicely with some of your other expertise gear. You're going to get a lot of expertise in tier 5 and really bring up that expertise and really prevent those dodges from happening. So I would, if you have a loot list system in your guild, I would recommend putting this number 1, or number 2 if you want to get DST. You can keep DST at number 1 and put this at number 2. But I would recommend keeping this at like top 1, top 2 in your loot list if you use a loot list, or saving your DKP for this if that's what your system looks like. So as for your legs, now legs, there's been a little bit of debate about what legs are best. These Greaves of the Blood Warder, these are from High Astromancer Solarian, which is the second or third boss in Tempest Keep. Again, it depends on like what order you go in, but these are really good. A lot of strength, 3 sockets, a lot of crit. Now, these are a little bit of a toss-up because according to the spreadsheet, they are a little bit better than Shatrith Leggings, the quest reward that gives you expertise. They are a little bit better according to the spreadsheet, but some people think that in certain situations the expertise would be better to have. And obviously, like, if you use these over the expertise on Shatrith Leggings, then you might get unlucky and get a lot of dodges. So the RNG will also play into this, and the Greaves of the Blood Warder could be a lot better if you never get dodged, or they could be a little bit worse if you do get a lot of dodges. So it's kind of like it introduces a little bit more RNG to your gear set, and if you really want to keep it consistent, I would recommend sticking with Shatrith Leggings because they are still very, very good, and that's really all there is to it. So if you're upgrading and you're setting your loot list or saving your DKP for something, I wouldn't really recommend saving a lot of DKP or putting the Solarian legs at the top of your loot list, just because Shatrith Leggings are really good and they're very close, so it's not really worth the expenditure. As for boots, these boots are from Moragrim Tidewalker. Once again, a lot of our gear comes from SSC. These are pretty similar to the boots in Karazhan from Nightbane, which is actually going to be my honorable mention because they're very close stat-wise. Like, you gain a little bit of strength and crit, so it's a very close kind of a toss-up between the two. Like, we know War Boots of Obliteration are a little bit better, but if you already have Iron Striders, I would just suggest keeping these for a while, maybe pass the War Boots to somebody else, or put it as low priority in your whatever your loot system is. I would make sure that, you know, if you have these already, that War Boots will be like a low priority for you. As for rings, you're definitely going to use Shapeshifter's Ring, which is the Lower City Exalted Ring. Going to use that for a long time. And you're going to use this other ring from Lurker Below, the Ancestral Ring of Conquest. It's got a lot of strength on it, and it's still got a bit of crit with 21 agility. So it's a bit of an upgrade over the ring from Netherspite, the Mithril Band of the Unscarred. It's got 6 more strength and a little bit less crit, but the 6 strength makes up for it. Once again, this ring is a little bit of a minor upgrade over the Nether Spite ring from Karazhan, so it's also kind of a low priority upgrade. Something you might want to just save your DKP for, or put at the bottom of your loot list. As for trinkets, there's a lot of debate about trinkets. Bloodlust Brooch is still top class trinket in tier 5. Still one of the best ones you can get. Now I heard a lot of talk about Tsunami Talisman, which is I honestly should have put it in this video as like an honorable mention. But what I would recommend doing is, if you don't have Dragonspine Trophy, because Bloodlust Brooch and Dragonspine Trophy are BiS, and I would recommend that if you don't have Dragonspine Trophy, I would recommend getting a Blessings deck and going to the Darkmoon Fair and picking up Darkmoon card Crusade. Now what this does is it stacks up attack power and spell power every time you attack, and since we do actually gain a little bit of damage from spell power, you kind of get the best of both worlds there. And it is really good for us if it doesn't drop. It lasts 10 seconds, so if you have like a little bit of downtime in a fight over 10 seconds where this effect could drop, then it's actually not going to be that great to use. But on fights where you have a lot of uptime and you can keep those stacks going, it's really, really good. So if you don't have Dragonspine Trophy, I would definitely recommend picking it up. And but that being said, you could get also Tsunami Talisman, just because like you could use it to replace Hourglass or Abacus in your second trinket slot as like a sort of a temporary upgrade, but it will be high demand and the hunters and other melee are going to want it. So you're probably just better off getting a Blessings deck and going with Darkmoon card Crusade. As for weapons, you can pretty much use either one of these. They're very similar. Now, Lionheart Executioner obviously is a blacksmithing item, and it's crafted by getting nether vortexes from trash drops in tier 5. And it's very easy to craft after you already have the Lionheart champion. So it's kind of an easy upgrade and a free win. But the sword from Kael'thas, the Twin Blade, is still very good, and according to the spreadsheet, they're pretty much equal. I think Twin Blade is a little bit better, like a couple DPS better, but if you get a really good proc with Lionheart Executioner and that strength, you get that strength proc right before like a big twist or something, or during your cooldowns, then Lionheart Executioner could actually edge it out. So it might actually be better to let the Arms Warrior have Twin Blade first. So it's mostly a matter of preference. It's really whatever you want to use. It's not really a big deal. If you use one or the other, you could get, 99 or 100 parses with either one of these weapons. It's not going to matter that much. So, and of course, LIBRAM. Everybody knows that we use LIBRAM of Avengement. It's from Blood Furnace Heroic. It's the best LIBRAM in the game. You'll never take it off. It's just that good, So that's really it. That's pretty much everything there is to know about tier 5 gear and what you want to use as a Ret Paladin. So thanks for watching. If you really like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe. So thanks guys, appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.